If you're not joining me, you're welcome to Peny Radio. It's Random Thought with Maxine. We're live on Facebook, Peny GH, and also on Peny Radio. So wherever you are, you're most welcome. It is a beautiful morning. Maxine is here at the studios, and we are all set. We're ready. Let's find out from Maxine. Maxine, good morning and welcome to this morning's show.
Good morning, Dominic.
As usual, I'll ask you. Since you are not living at the same place, you traveled. Okay, you took. Let me share this.
Please do.
One of our teachers used to say that for him, buying a car is. He's used to AD44. And
What's
then,
that?
And they wanted to know, what is AD44? Anytime he comes to class, it's part of the introduction.
Okay.
You see, forgive me, I'm late today. I'm not thinking of buying a car. I'm used to AD44. And AD, after death of Christ.
Okay.
So 44. So there were no cars.
Okay.
44
before
exactly.
Okay.
So he's used to walking. So he's used to AD 44. So it could be that you sat in a taxi, you drove yourself here, you AD 44.
I didn't use AD 44. I came with a taxi.
All right.
Okay. And I'm here. Good morning to all my lovely listeners.
Good morning.
It's Wednesday and it's the Wednesday edition of Random Thought with Maxine. Charlie, how was your night?
Should I answer for some
please
of them?
do.
In fact, my night was peaceful.
Okay.
Until I heard Ohini making some funny
Hey.
noise. This boy would never eat in the evening.
So we are just taking our time. One of these days, we'll give you an update as to who Ohene is. A full update of who Ohene is, so that you can also associate with some of the stories we say about him. Good morning once again.
Good
and
morning.
We are here.
All right, so back to the story. Ohene will never eat in the evening. So I heard him making some funny noise.
Okay.
So I woke up and I saw that this boy is hungry. Okay, so I went for calipo. He had taken calipo and was left with some small in the pack. So I gave it to him, and all I heard was, when you start the thing and air is coming. So he started crying. So I checked and there was one, and I said, okay. So I gave it to him.
Okay.
And then after taking the thing, this boy will not sleep again. So I had to babysit for the night.
So now you all know who Ohene is now. So we don't have to wait for another day to tell you who Ohene is. So Ohene is a little boy, a studio manager. Okay, so we are here this morning, and you know how we do it on Mondays and Wednesdays. We talk, we have conversation, bothering around all subjects that has to do with us as human beings and everything that would make our lives better. So this morning we are talking. Guess what conversation we are going to have? Okay. Dominic, you don't want to guess?
My guess.
Sorry. Guess phobia. So we won't do any guessing game right now. We'll be right back. Please stay tuned and keep guessing till I come back. Yeah, I'm ready. Welcome back. So we are back. I'm sure we are all guessing and wondering exactly what we are discussing this morning. So Monday, after I was done with the program, I decided to walk home. The journey from the studio to my house is not quite far. So sometimes I enjoy taking it cool and easy, walking and observing things. It kind of like serves as an inspiration for me as to what content I would want to develop for the next show. So I just got to a junction and I observed this woman. I've been observing her for some time now. She's just on the road to where the studio is located. And diligently, around 12 o'clock, this woman will mount her dispenser with some juice in it. We'll clean it, and I just like the whole decor around the dispenser. And you know what she's selling, right? She's selling, it's either Sobolo or Islamujin. But I kept wondering to myself, in this COVID times, are people still interested in buying drinks from dispensers? I mean, isn't it too much work to find out whether or not she has sanitized her hand and all that? So I kept wondering to myself. But the second thing that kind of like struck my attention was what was written just on the board. I mean, it's a company's name, and written on the board was Poco a Poco. Poco a Poco. And I have heard Poco a Poco then. I know people usually will name their shops and drinking spot Poco a Poco. So when I got home, I decided to look up the word Poco a Poco. And I hear it's Italian and it means little by little. And it spoke to me little by little. I don't know what her inspiration for naming that nice juice bar was, but she's written something, and people put a lot of inscriptions because of what they believe in and what they profess. Okay, so little by little, Poco a Poco kind of like gave me something to write on and then come and discuss with you, or let's have a conversation around the subject. Poco a Poco. I don't know if there's a point in your life that you have never worried about anything. We all at a point have worried about something or not. There are times that we are not too sure how things are going to turn out in our lives. There are times that we are thinking that there is no way we are going to get out of a situation. And it's interesting. It's like worrying has become part of our lives. And as human beings, if you are not worried about one thing or the other, somebody will ask you if you are all right. And I know people who worry about everything. They worry about how they look, even about the superficial thing, their weight, their skin color, their complexion. There are people who worried about when will I buy a land? When will I build? Can I also build my house? Can I also get a land? When can I also buy a trip of sand and a trip of chippings on that land? Can I even erect pillars and all that? Because the person is thinking, looking at my salary, can I even buy a land? And these are valid concerns. There are people who are even worried about the things that ordinarily will take them as being mundane. They worry about floods, they worry about earthquakes, they worry about lightning. My kid sister will tell me that when it's raining and there's thunder, she's like scared. And we all worry about things that sometimes we even ask ourselves, why do we worry about these things? But as I said, it is part of us as human beings to worry. And if you don't worry, it feels like there is a problem with you. You are not normal. Can't you see things must go this way? And that woman's inscription on her juice bar, Poco a Poco, set me thinking about how I thought. I was there worrying for her that, will they buy this juice? Are people still interested in getting drinks even in this COVID times? But it's little by little. And for her, I think that will be her motivation. That any which way I will set up, any which way I will still put that dispenser on that table. Any which way I will produce that sobolo or that lamuchi. And I am sure little by little that thing will get finished in that dispenser. Are you worrying now? What are some of the things you worry about? Your concerns may be valid. It's true. If you are earning like 500 Ghana cedis now and you are thinking of buying or building in the future, there is hope and there is no hope. Somebody will say that because, there is hope you are working. But there is no hope that 500 cedis in this time and age will not do anything. For those who have decided to build or are building, will tell you that it's expensive. Even paying laborers by day is a lot of money. But would you still want to worry? Because see, whatever it is, it's still 500 Ghana cedis. The worrying does not add any amount to the salary you're already making. Let me tell you this. 2 years ago after church, my sister and myself came back home and we decided to relax. Usually what we do is that because we run a mobile library at church, we are very exhausted. So when we come back, we just sit down, eat some good kenke, watch TV, and then relax for the next few hours so that we prepare for work on Monday. That Sunday, we came back from church, and interestingly, our next door neighbors, we don't know what was really happening, whether it was a naming ceremony or something, but there was music in the background, and the music was that loud. And for all those who have been following Random Thoughts with Maxine, you know it. I am a lover of music. Anything music that appeals to my ears is something I will jump to and dance. So we just unknowingly, I stood up to dance and my sister joined me. And then I was like, okay, do you know what? Can we just change, because we're in our house clothes? Can we just change into something appropriate and ask our kid sister to video us while we dance? So we changed into an outfit that we felt was presentable. We sorted to some few music on our phones, and then we started dancing. Then later on was like, can we just upload the two of us dancing on Facebook? And we did. The comments that came thereof were interesting. Some of the comments that I remember seeing were like, you people always look happy. Don't you have problems? It's always exciting to see you people dance. And there were things that were happening on that Sunday and in our lives that the world was not privy to. And I told my sister this, that if they know the things we were going through, and we had even decided that even in the midst of the storm, we still wanted to be happy and not resort to worrying, they would have said, are you guys okay? So I will tell you, today is the first time for all those who watched that video on Facebook and gave those comments. And you know, when you are all excited and happy and you are all dancing and merry and you're exuding some joy, people think all is well. But this was what was happening then. I was close to not meeting a deadline for the submission of my thesis. The corrections, I was not even done with the work. We were a group of 10. Almost everybody had submitted their thesis, had gone for their corrections, had worked on their correction and had submitted. Here I was struggling to put conclusion and sub-chapters together. And already there was a circular from the school telling us that after some weeks of non-submission, we are going to pay a fine. The money was huge. Secondly, I had gone to work like close to 4 or 5 months and I had not been paid. And I was broke. So there was no way that I could even pay for the fine or the penalty for not submitting on time. And here I was dancing when I had not finished up my thesis. And I was like, can I just take a break? My sister then was also working on her thesis. She had gone to live in Esikuma trying to collect data, only to be told that that data was not needed. And she had to organize a new data again and observe differently. And this was what was happening in our lives. So we were on the edge. It was not like Yonia Jibia Niesa. But we told ourselves this. We can decide to worry. We can decide to allow the situation to submerge us. But whatever it was, we took a decision. This morning, why am I sharing my thought on worrying? There is always a decision to either worry or be happy. So there's a song, it's an old song. Ooh, 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 ooh. Don't worry Be happy. So there is an option. It's either you want to worry or it's either you want to be happy. And that's one of the songs I like. And it's funny. The man will say things like, your rent is due, the landlord is knocking on your door, and what is it? But when you worry, you stress yourself. That's one thing I have told myself. And this morning I want to tell you this. Can you write a note to yourself? A note to yourself. And tell yourself that you can be anxious. You can worry. Life will get stressful. It always does. Tomorrow will be stressful. But after all these things, you need to survive. And worrying is not a recipe or a good ingredient for you to survive in this world. We have worried about a lot of things. For some of us, we know our parents have invested a lot in us. And we can't just let them down. So we have to be super successful. Some of us, we have worried about whether or not you are going to make it in life, and it hurts. At this point, there are things we can't boast of. We can't boast of meaningful salaries. You can't boast of a family. You can't boast of property. People are talking fixed assets now. What do you have after 30? What do you have after 40? How much do you have in your bank account? People have dollar account and things, and I mean your bank account is still on red alert, and you are withdrawing and you can't pay in, and you are thinking, how am I going to survive for the next 2 months? But you see, as I said from the beginning, there's always an option, and the options are available, whether to be stuck worrying or to what? Be grateful for what you have. Because the interesting thing is that worrying does not solve the problem. It always does not. It will only make your head spin. I know a friend who tells me that there was this time almost every month when she receives her salary, there is a to-do list of the things she wanted to buy. Just when you cross out the first 3 ones, you realize that your money has finished. It's gone. And she will be thinking about it. How come I couldn't use this money to do all these things? And she said something that really caught my attention. She said she realized that her head will ache to the level that she had never ever experienced, and she had developed migraine. Now, what is the way out for her? She says, you know what, Maxine? I write all the things down. If my salary comes and I'm able to take out 2 out of the 6 I have, I thank God for it. I'll just hope and pray that next month I can be able to cross out the other things that I would want to achieve. We have worried in the past. We are still worrying over things that sometimes we don't even have control over. It is not in our domain. We can't do anything about it. But worrying does not help the situation. And you are listening to me and you say, what helps? I'm sure you've heard of the phrase that says that if life gives you lemon, make lemonade out of it. It's to say that life would always throw things at us that are not pleasant. But how do you deal with the things that life throws at you? Obviously, worrying should not be part of how you would want to solve the things that life throws at you. Now listen, this morning I was telling myself, not only can you make lemonades out of the limes or the lemons that you are given, decide to make that lemonade a little bit nice. If you have a sweet tooth like me, want sugar, put a lot of ice block in it, want ice. Put the logologus straw, you know how it is, the spiral one. Put it, if it's colorful, the best, and sip it slowly and enjoy it. Life is not always about we getting everything we want. Worrying is going to be part of us, because I honestly think that the human system has this bit of worrying as an element in our bodies, and worrying is what makes us, some people think that when they worry, it means like, Charlie, their mind is working. Charlie, I have to get this thing now. Hey, how do I get this? And for there are people who are chronic worries. Whatever you say to them, no matter what hope you give to them, no matter how many talks they listen to, they would worry, because that's what makes them feel like, Charlie, my life is on the move. But we have worried in the past. It didn't end us anywhere. And as Christians, Bible will tell us that even the birds of the air, they do not work. And it is to tell us that those of us who worry, you do not even add anything to your life when you worry. So why do you resort to worrying? Now let's go back to the next option. When you don't worry, what you do? You'll be happy. Happiness for me is not in the tangibles. It's not in the things you have. Because interestingly, we know people that we think they have everything that's supposed to make them happy, and they are not. And I got this whole philosophy about being happy in one day, because I realized that happiness is dependent on the individual. You can choose to be happy and you can choose not to be happy. When the tangibles come, the cars, the good houses, the good jobs, the well-paying jobs comes along with a package, hey, fine. But if they don't come, will you still be happy? If you are stripped of the things that you think gives you joy, would you still be happy? So for me, happiness is not in the tangibles. Let me run this by you. So I have never traveled before. Never have I sat in a plane. I'm thinking that after all this coronavirus thing, I one day get a ticket to Kumasi and sit in a plane and have a feel of African world. Now Starboy is no longer in operation, so we can do African world or any of those, passion or something. But my twin had traveled, and I remember those 3 or 4 months when she was away. I see people and they literally think my life has come to an end. Like, are you happy? Your sister is gone for like months. How are you coping? And I'm like, see, I am a separate entity. I choose to be happy. And I am telling you this, the things that makes me happy are things that you think, oh, is she all right? Animation. Yesterday I watched Ballerina on TV and I was happy. I can watch Shrek like 4 times. I never get tired of watching Shrek. Just give me a nice chilled drink, some small biscuits like that, and I'm good to go. This is what makes me happy. But for some of us, it's about the big things. There is no problem with getting happy when big things are in the picture. But you see, the question is, will you still be happy if those things are stripped of you? Your joy must not be in the tangibles. If your car goes to the mechanic for 7 months and you don't have a car, would you still be happy jumping on that public transport and saying, Charlie, my car is in the garage, but Charlie, I'm enjoying this one? Happiness is always an option. Worrying is also an option. Choose this day whom you will serve. Happiness or staying worried when you have nothing and absolutely nothing to gain when worrying. Are you worried about something this few months? When was the last time you got worried? This morning, 2 years ago, a week, a night? Whatever seems to be weighing you down, all I can say is that you can survive it because you have what it takes to make your life better. Happiness should be the choice for you. Seek to be happy. Work towards being happy. I listened to a tape some years back, and that is what changed the whole mindset of choosing to be happy. That the devil has a way of stealing our joy. He will remind you of the things that are not working for you. He will remind you of how you have underachieved after 40 or 30. He will remind you of how you sat in the same class with that pal and they are making it big and you are still crawling. He will remind you of the things that would hurt you. He will remind you of the things that will make you think, no, my life is not what I want. But you see, once he gets your attention with the things you do not have, then you are settled with the option of worrying and thinking that you are a failure. I am happy not because I have everything. I am happy because I choose to be happy. Happiness is a choice. Be joyful. And once you are happy, for me, we shared that video because that was it. People were not privy to what was happening then in our lives, but this morning I have shared with you. And if we are to tell them what was really happening, they will think that, what is the cause of your joy? How do you get it all figured out? It's a choice. Choose to be happy. There are times I would wake up in the morning and I am just not in the mood for anything. You know that you are down. And it's not like we don't all have our down moments. There are times that you are moody. Life would give you things to think about. But at the end of the day, we still look at the brighter side of life. You have life. For some of us, we have family support that is really intense. Some of us, we have good friends. And there are things that we are practically taking for a joke. And we think, oh, this is not a blessing. But once you sit down, relax, and start measuring some things that had happened in the past and how you have survived it and how your life is still moving on, even when it feels like it's at a slow pace, there will be a reason for you to be joyful. Don't worry. Be happy. The rent is almost due, I know. The children will go back to school. The school fees will still be paid. You still would have to sort that family member out. Your children are not recovering from that sickness. You are listening and you are sick and your hospital bills keep piling up. Can you just thank God for the fact that you still have some little money to take care of that bills? That you are getting better even with the prescription. There are people who get prescription and they are not getting better. But with you, the drug seems to be working. You seem to be seeing some improvement. Can you be happy about that? Can you just wake up and put on that nice dress that is in your closet and just take a nice picture and say, this is happy me? This is not about faking, no. It is about what is inside. And once you exude some happiness, you attract people. People are attracted to things that are exciting. Your world must excite people. Your world must draw people closer. And it's refreshing. I mean, for me, anytime I go back to that video we posted and I look down at the comment section, it's refreshing when people say, you made my day. It is refreshing when people say, you girls are happy and we want to be happy. It is refreshing when people say that I have watched this video over and over again. The answer is not in what you have. The answer is what you do with what you have. Worrying is not a good option. Choose to be happy. It's Random Thought with Maxine. This morning we are talking about how we've wasted much of our time worrying about things we can do practically nothing about, things that we cannot even wrap our fingers about, and choosing to be happy. Happiness is something that is an option for all of us. It is not for some people. Can you just reinvent your life again? For some of us, we have wallowed in mobo. Yeah, no. Get your act together. Once you start living the life not on the tangibles, but making sure that you are happy within. And once you are happy within, it tells on the outside. You glow. Everybody sees you and they just want to have a feel of what your life is. We'll be right back after this break. It's Random Thought with Maxine. We'll be back.
All right. So I have this from Valentine Chibata. He says nice talk.
Thanks Valentine.
All right. So talking about things that we worry about, you know, I don't know if I should say I was lucky or not lucky. You know, my father is a teacher.
Okay.
And anytime the students came to the house, okay, those in SHS, by then we were just in some class 2, class 1, and they ask us, hey, oh, the other bank now obeko class 5, class 6, abaji. So anytime they say that, it
was to you.
Yes. Yeah.
When will you grow?
When will you grow? Okay. So I think that kept ringing in my ears, and even when I got to JHS, I moved to stay with my other mom.
Okay.
I had 2 moms.
Okay.
So I moved to Bechim, from Doma to Bechim. And when I came,
yes, Sunyani boy.
Yes.
Sunyani is a nice town.
Oh yes,
it is.
And when I came, I thought, I've moved from JHS, and then I came and I was not lucky. I came to fall into SHS.
Yeah.
Okay, we were close to the Bechim Secondary School. So, and 2 of my uncles were in secondary school when I was in the JHS, and then the primary 2, I had one of my aunties in SHS.
Okay.
So they all the students used to come to our house, and then they will ask, hey, schoolboy, SHS.
That's it.
So yeah. I was thinking about that, and one of them told me that no. You see, try and come to SHS. Okay, JHS is the difficult one. When you come to SHS, everything is not difficult.
That's it.
So I was always thinking about that. Okay, and then I went to school one time, and one guy I was wearing, I never liked wearing my shoes. I used to wear theirs when they go to school. Okay, I pick one of their shoes. By then they
you like theirs more than yours.
Oh yes, they were wearing foot SHS. You cannot compare SHS shoes to
JHS foot.
Yeah. So when I send, anytime I send a new photo to school, hey,
fans,
yeah. So like
Bogaba,
and I said, oh, okay. So my worries are about when I will get to SHS.
That is it.
And someone is also worrying about my foot. The mine is small. So
exactly, that is it. And there are times that for us, when you have your peers who are married, and that sometimes you step out for weddings and like, oh, this is my first child. They are all grown, and you are thinking, me, I'm not married. When now would my child get in JHS and all that? And I'll tell you that there was a friend of mine who got married. And before that, her elder sister had gotten married for like 7 years, and she had not given birth. So when she was getting married, it was one of the things that she dreaded. What if I also do not give birth like my first sister, my big sister? And so she went after their wedding. You know how it is, like after wedding, you have to go and say thank you to people. And they just went to one of the husband's friend's place just to show appreciation. And the guy said something. The guy was divorced, and the guy was like, oh, can I just tell you something? This is the first time I'm being honest about it. My divorce was because of childlessness.
Wow.
But let me tell you, if you have children, fine. If you don't have children, just relax about it. She said she came back home. Practically, that had even heightened her fears. Less than 6 months, she called me and said she wasn't feeling too well. She went to test and she was pregnant.
Wow.
The same year, and she has 2 kids now.
Wow.
Now look at the projection she made. And we all do. Now you are not married and thinking, can I have children? Don't you ever think of whether you can have children?
No.
It never crossed your mind.
No.
Not even wifey.
I was thinking anytime we were projecting 4 years time, 3 years, and the truth is, you see, when you've not married, there's pressure. The moment you get married, that pressure you were having before marriage, it doubles.
Okay, yeah, it does. It
doubles because the moment you get married, they are looking at, is it that the man is important or the wife is not?
That is it.
You get it.
That is it.
So if you say you worry about these things, it never ceases.
But that is the sad truth anyway. That the things that we do not have control of, why do we worry then?
Sure.
So somebody will tell me, how do you get your life better without worrying? For me, the first thing I would suggest is that let's relax.
Sure.
What you said about you made projections for the first 3 or 4 years. There are people who make projections like first year, no, I was here.
Yeah.
Can we just relax can we just relax the mind, relax all the fears and once you relax, and it's talking to the self. Can I relax about this part that I don't have control? Because whatever it is, you don't have control over childbearing. You don't. And the second thing is that once you start worrying, it shifts your focus. It does. Things that you're supposed to look at objectively, you are not too over the matter. It is something that is not even within your power to alter or to change. So the headache and the what ifs and what not will not even solve the problem. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
The best time to live your life is now. Live your best life now.
Sure.
Worrying will not make you live your best life now. It would make you walk with a lot of baggages, issues, but live your best life now. And the best way to live your best life now is to stop worrying.
Sure. Stop worrying.
Do not worry.
Do not worry. Just be happy. So you can share your comments with us on WhatsApp 0543295571, 0543829571, or on Facebook Peny GH. So yesterday, I think me to my boss yesterday.
Okay.
Yesterday I went to the office, and when I went to the office, my boss told me that we're going to like the family. Okay, they want to go and visit their granny. Okay, so what they want to do is to test for the COVID before they go, because the woman is of age 80 and they don't want to go in. So he told me, I'm going to test for COVID. Will you
want to?
And we were two. And then I went to look at my colleague's face and said, me, I'm not going, you know. And then my boss, so we were there. And then yes, we were there. She went, and within 45 minutes, she stays at Jolu, and our office is at 55 Newtown. Within 45 minutes, she called and said, we are done with the test. And I said, so far. I said, oh yes. You don't get closer to them. They ask you some few questions. They give you a container, and then they take your spit, and then they go away. And then I asked, so when are you expecting the result? I said 48 hours.
Wow.
And then I did ended. I said, so her name is Sunday. I said, so Sunday, within this 48 hours, what will you be doing?
That is it.
And he said, and my top
within the 48 hours, what to do? But we have friends who are like, it's not funny. They are chronic worries.
Yeah.
Everything. Hey, what is happening? And those are the people. I mean, if you are trying to live a life free of worrying, those are people you should not entertain.
Sure.
Because they wrap their worrying on you. See me passing by somebody's fruit juice and me worrying that they won't buy. Meanwhile, this woman is diligent. She's mounting her dispensers. She's preparing whatever she has to prepare. Because at the end of the day, probably if I had gone forward to even access some few questions, I'll be sure. But you see, she's written poco a poco, little by little, small. It cannot start big. It always will start small. Let's live our best life now.
Sure.
It is our life.
It is our life.
Let's have fun. Be positive. Have fun. Be positive. And positivity kills every form of worrying. Positivity. Have a positive mindset. Reinvent your mind. Some of us, the negatives are too much. Hey, all these things are all elements of worrying.
Sure.
But once you live life, you are positive, you are working hard, you are making it count. Leave the rest. The rest will sort it out. When will you buy a car? You are there one day, something would happen. Sure. The car and the projections you have made. Somebody was telling me that she went to. I read a post about somebody saying that there was this time she didn't have a car. She was worried. Only after some years she had a car. She was able to build, and she realized that she had just wasted her time. Worrying is a silly hobby.
Sure.
It's a silly hobby. Don't get yourself entangled in it. It's a silly hobby.
So you heard it. Worrying is a silly hobby. Don't you ever play that game?
Yeah, it's not. It's
very silly. So we have this one coming in. This is coming from Tony. He says, just be happy. Don't worry. I'm doing the listening live from Sports and Design. All right. Thank you.
Hi, Tony.
Okay, sport and design. We believe you guys are doing well. So it's good that you people are not getting worried. When customers are not coming, don't get worried, okay? Just work on your marketing.
Do what you have to do.
Sure, just
do what
you have to
do. Yeah.
All right, so you can share your comments with us on Facebook, Peny GH, or on WhatsApp, 0543295571. It's still a random thread with Maxine.
Yeah.
So you were saying something.
Yeah, so today I was just telling myself that if I should have told you so that you played that song.
Okay.
We should be dancing in the studio.
Sure.
Don't worry. Be happy, because I mean that's the whole idea. If you are not happy, you are worried, and you will be sad.
Sure.
Life is too stressful to add some baggages to what you already have.
It's not worth it. So in fact, our time is up, but I want to share this,
so soon.
There was this madman, okay, in Bichim, and
so today they are giving us Bichim stories.
Yeah. And this guy, anytime you talk about, oh, that's a private car going, he said no, the only thing private is your coffin. So anytime he sees,
even when he was mad.
Yeah. When they see that they are going to bury someone, say, or train the balance him. The private car.
That's your private car.
Yeah, so why do you worry about getting a car when your only private car is?
But you see, you know that
perfect.
The thing you said about only a private got in a day,
or train the balance him.
that is it. You see, and sometimes when you are you should be in your lane.
Sure.
When you're in your lane,
sure,
you don't worry.
Sure.
Who has what? Who doesn't have what? You know that this is my track. It's like you are running relay. This is your track.
Sure.
Can I just be in my track?
Sure.
It's okay. Sometimes you want to watch left and watch right. What is happening with other people? But once you know you're in track, you are doing what you're supposed to do, and you are not lazy, and you are working.
That is it.
You are not lazy,
and you are working.
It is not about being lazy and saying, no. But no. Just work as if your whole life depended on it. And Charlie, the rest will fall. Do not subject yourself to worrying.
Sure.
It's a fruitless venture.
Not the day is laughing. It's not easy.
It's not easy, but Charlie, small, poco a poco.
All right, so I have this one here. He says, it is good not to worry. It is good to be happy.
Amen.
But sometimes you can't help it.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can't help it.
And we call this reality check. You will sit down. It's like, sometimes when you are doing all this thing, I'm sure that there are some comments people didn't post when we had uploaded the video, because somebody was thinking, hey, like you people are, you don't know what is happening in life. Because there are times a life will give you, will remember you. Of things you have lost.
Life will
life will remember you. It will remind you of things. And you realize that, but you see, just when you realize that you are getting down, then you know that this is an avenue for the devil to steal your joy.
Sure.
And he always does.
Sure.
Once he gets your attention with that feeling, and people are usually worrying, and sometimes it's even suicidal.
Yeah.
The people who have worried about people who have and the best thing to do is to end it. Please, if you are listening to us this morning, and sometimes life had given you the opportunity to think that, Charlie, you have not amounted to anything for the past few years, and you want to take your life, please, this is not an option.
Sure.
It is not an option.
Sure.
Do not take your life.
Don't. It's not worth it.
Don't. Better days ahead. Your best life is about to begin.
Sure.
Relax. Breathe. Watch cartoons.
Yes. That there was I came by some inscription. It says, if you have nothing do don't do it here. If you have nothing doing, don't do it here.
Yeah.
So if you have nothing doing, and the only option coming to you is to take your life, before you take your life, think about how you got the life.
Yeah.
Before your mother could take that first breath, okay, before you could take your first breath, it would have been your mother's last.
Yeah.
So
she could have died in the process.
So if you want to take yours, think about
suicide is not the option to dealing with life stresses, because the stress they will come.
They will come
every day. Once you solve one, the other one will pop up. But please choose to be happy. Live your best life now. Lemonades are nice. Add sugar. Add a lot of ice. If you want more ice, then put your Goligas straw in it and sip and relax and see what, because God has plans for us. On Peny Radio, we give hope for the hopeless. His plans for us, His promises are yes and amen. He said, even if it what? It tarries. Wait. Wait. It will surely come to pass. And you won't get tired of waiting, because He has something better for all of us.
Something better.
He does.
Better.
He does.
So you're still here. You can send your comments 0543295571 or on Facebook Peny GH. It's still Random Thought with Maxine right here on Peny Radio. So wherever you're doing the listening from, to all our listeners and our viewers on Facebook, if you're into any business, you want to make noise about it for you for free, this is for free. Send us the details in the comment section on Facebook or on WhatsApp 0543295571, and we'll make noise about this for you. So
someone sent me something on my WhatsApp.
All right.
And she said, I'm listening to you. And what's today's date?
Today is the 15th of July.
And I don't know if it's coincidental, but I would love to read.
Okay.
Do not worry about tomorrow. This is not a suggestion, but a command. I divided time into days and nights so that you would have manageable patterns of life to handle. My grace is sufficient for you, but its sufficiency is for only one day at a time. When you worry about the future, you heap day upon day of troubles onto your flimsy frame. You stagger under this heavy load, which I never intended you to carry. Throw off this oppression burden with one quick thrust of trust. Anxious thoughts meander about the crisscross in your brain, but trusting me brings you directly into my presence. As you thus affirm your faith, shackles of worry fall off instantly. Enjoy my presence continually by trusting me at all times. Thank you so much, Gloria, for sending this, and thank you so much for listening. God bless you.
God bless you, Gloria. Thank you for doing the listening and sending your comments. Poco a poco, small, little by little. So I'll pass by the woman's place this afternoon.
Greet her for us. I'll greet. Probably order for a juice and ask what her motivation for. But you see, it's little by little. Kakran kakra. Yeah, kakran kakra. Yeah.
All right. So you're still live on Peny Radio and Peny GH. So do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel, it's Peny GH. Like our Facebook page, it's Peny GH. On Twitter and Instagram, it's PenyGH_. Check on our website, www.penygh.com or radio.penygh.com. Download the Peny Radio mobile app and let's have fun together. Peny Radio, hope for the hopeless.
Hope for the hopeless.
Yeah, man. in the voice of Akase Brempo.
Yeah. Everything cool.
All right, so we gradually bringing the program to an end. So Maxine, your final words to our listeners and viewers.
So my final words to all my listeners, those who connect with us every Mondays and Wednesdays, is that it's time to live your best life. I don't know what your definition of best life is, but anything that will make your life better is what you should be working towards.
Sure.
Know that is how God has ordained you to live as royal people, to live as chosen generation, to live as salt and light of this world. You cannot shine when you worry. Be happy.
Be happy.
Once you are happy, you would attract people, and your presence will just be irresistible. People cannot just wait just to be where you are, because there's something that you carry. There's a presence that is with you. The joy of the Lord is always our strength,
sure.
And that is where we find our strength from.
Sure.
Be joyous.
Yeah.
Be joyous.
Be joyous. All right, so I have this comment. It says, a day of worry is more exhausting than a day of work. A day of worry is more exhausting than a day of work. Thank you for your comment. Very, very true.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Your head will ache.
Hey, your head is not echo. It will spin, sir. And then who says,
Oh, God.
Yeah. Sometimes you even think it's your rasta that has gotten old and you have to take it off. But it's the worrying. You are just worrying unnecessarily.
Oh, I have this one also.
Okay.
It says, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring enough worries of its own. Okay, he said this is at Matthew chapter 6, the verse 34.
Okay.
Do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will bring enough worries of its own. Matthew chapter 6, the verse 34.
Okay.
So you can do the reading later. Matthew chapter 6, the verse 34. Okay, I think we have one more.
So we are taking the last one.
Yeah, so he says you either pray or worry. Don't do both. Oh my God. Pray or what? Oh my God. Is either you pray or worry. Don't do both. Just do one.
Yeah,
okay.
but pray.
Is either you pray
when
or
you
worry.
pray, then you realize.
Sure.
Don't worry, be happy.
Pray. In fact, this topic you brought today is troublesome. If we don't take it, we spend 2 hours here. You know, I have a TV, okay, and the TV in my room, I have no remote. So anytime I want to change the channel, I have to go.
Sorry.
And it's a flat screen, okay. I have to push my hand at the back to change channel, okay, and that is my headache. But anytime someone comes to, oh,